Start barking in a minute.
Hi, I'm Jackie with Veterans Rideshare, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about our non emergency medical transport side, which is very important and crucial to our mission. So, today we've got a special guest. This is April Jimenez. She has a great title. She is our Inland Empire Supervisor. I told her she sounds like the queen in charge of the empire. We're going to talk a little bit about what April does for Veterans Rideshare and how she helps contribute to our mission. So, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So, how long have you been with Veterans Rideshare now?
It feels like forever. No, I was originally a Bellflower driver, and I'm going on and hopefully shooting way past 3 years.
That's fantastic. So, you started as a driver and now you're a supervisor and you're able to work from home mostly?
Yeah, my van is here at the house. I go meet my partner every day, so that's pretty convenient for me. Just roll out of bed, roll into my clothes, and out the front door. So
That is
yeah.
that is pretty good. I like that. I work from home as well. I think it's just one of the wonderful benefits with Veterans Rideshare. They have an option for everybody, it seems like. So,
Mhm.
can you tell me a little bit about what non-emergency medical transport is and what you do with the company?
Yes. Uh, Non-emergency medical transportation, that's basically everything excluding taking you to the ER. You call 911, we don't come. You need to go to the doctor, you need to go for surgery or being discharged from the hospital back home or to a rehabilitation home. That's when we come in. If you need grandma to go ahead and move and be with you, then we would take care of that transportation as well. So any sort of doctor's appointment, hospital, from home to home transfer, anything like that.
Mm. That's really important because I know, especially as people age or if they have a disability and aren't able to drive, those medical appointments, they're not going to stop. I know that they come with frequency, and I think it's wonderful that we provide that service with the door to door transportation. So, do you have clients that you see on a weekly basis?
Yes. They're basically family. We call them family. And we do have the same, that's mostly like a dialysis situation, but we do have our standing orders and we see them usually 3 times a week.
Wow. That's wonderful. So you're able then to build relationships with these families instead of clients, which I think is important for both sides. That's great, for us as a team, but I could see how much that would matter to someone, especially if they're living alone or someone who knows that you're caring for their mom, for their grandma, grandfather. It's nice to have that personal touch where they know you and they can reliably count on you every week.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's great. That's so great. So, how did you get into this line of work?
I sort of fell into it. I honestly do not even remember applying for this job. I just got a phone call and they said, "Hey, we got your application." And I said, "Oh, okay, that's who are you?" And I went and interviewed and I got the job the same day. I actually come from a caregiving background. I was a in-home caregiver for 5 years. I provided all the transportation for this residential facility for adults with developmental disabilities. And I took them to their outings, their doctor's appointments, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the job. So when they told me what Veterans Rideshare was about and the type of work that they do, I was really interested. And from like day one, I decided that this is definitely where I'm supposed to be. I love driving. I love caring for people and taking care of them. We grew up taking care of our grandma, my father, everybody that needed medical help or appointment, transportation. We did that for our own family, so it just sort of naturally fit for me.
Oh, that sounds perfect. You're the right person for the job then. I think it's great to have that level of compassion and understanding, and it's a level of service as well. We've got that with my grandmother's 91, and my dad drives her to almost every appointment, and I just think it's amazing to know that there are services like this. So if anyone finds that they're overwhelmed and they're not able to always take their family members, we've got an incredible service. And actually, I'll put our website up there. So, How do people go about setting up rides through our company? What would they need to do?
Definitely get a hold of your insurance
Hmm.
and see if you have transportation in your insurance. A lot of people don't even know that they do, and then they can request us, or they can call us directly, and sometimes we'll run the insurance to see if they qualify for that. And then a lot of times it is word of mouth and requests. We do have contracts with insurance companies like IEHP in here in Riverside County and Inland Empire. But I think that a lot of our business comes from return requests, especially in my area. Like I know that they'll ask me beforehand, is it okay if I can call and request you guys? Well, of course it is. Please do. So I pass out any business card. I go into the home sometimes and I talk to the social services and I let them know like, hey, you like us? Hey, here's the phone number. And but for the most part, I think they go ahead and call their own insurance and either request Veterans Rideshare or see what services that they qualify for.
Hmm. That's fantastic, and I love the fact that people are asking to have you again and again for repeat. That really says so much about the level
Mhm.
of care and service that you're providing. And I'm sure there's not always situations where like a taxi would be appropriate. I'm
Right.
sure. What kind of things do you provide that are beyond just someone getting in a car? Are you helping with wheelchairs, et cetera? If you could tell a little bit about that.
Oh, of course. Here in the Inland Empire, we don't have as many ambulatory or wheelchair runs that they do over in Bakersfield. Most of our runs here are gurney transportation. And especially with gurney transportation, there really in general for us, there's no knock on the front door, hey, or wait in the curb and wait for them to come out. We get out, we go into the home, we go into their residence or wherever they might be, the hospital. We go right up to the bed. We make sure everything is fine. We transfer them onto the gurney safely and as gently as possible every time. We meet their family. We get them into the van. We take them into their doctor's appointments. Even if they are in a wheelchair, we take them all the way into the office, make sure that they are signed in. They know that they're there. We give them our phone number here. Let us, give us a little call when they're done. We'll be right up here to pick them back up and take them back down. We have one gentleman who considered taking an Uber at one point, but he needs to be taken all the way to the ninth floor of the hospital for his treatment, and they won't take him up. What makes the difference between us and a curb to curb company, really.
Oh, absolutely. I think that that's a huge difference, especially if there's any sort of confusion, or if there's some issue as they're signing in. Or I think that's really important to be there to make sure that they're in the right place at the right time. Because I couldn't imagine just calling an Uber, getting dropped off, and then finding out, whoops, it's the wrong day or something. I could see that happening.
A
So
lot of times the insurance will send us a basic address, and I kind of know all the addresses. They're all stuck in my head, but sometimes they just give you the address to the main entrance of the hospital, and no suite number, no doctor name, no anything. And sometimes the passenger or patient themselves don't really know where they're going or what suite they're supposed to be in, and that's where we step in and play detective and figure out where they need to be and get them to the right place, because left on their own right there, they might not find the right office. They may be too late and they tell them they can't see them now. Or we would never want that to happen, even to my own family or any of my passengers. We want to make sure we find out exactly where they're supposed to be and get them right to that spot.
oh, that's incredible. What a wonderful service. It's a whole new world for me because I'm just now learning since joining the team here. And I think it's just so valuable because it is really important to have those healthcare, have those well visits, um, depending on wherever you are in life and whatever challenge you have. And it's good to know that you've got someone there that you can trust, that's reliable, you have a relationship with, and they're going to greet you all the way from inside your house to the front desk, I guess, to get signed in. I spoke with Lucius, another team member of ours, and he said he's even helped make sure people can get to the restroom before an appointment. Just little things like that you wouldn't find with a taxi driver or an Uber driver. And I think it's that extra special touch that makes us unique here at Veterans Rideshare.
Oh,
So,
oh yeah.
so do you have an idea of about how many patients or family members, as you call them, that you're currently serving?
In this area, standing have, I think, sorry, somebody's trying to call my phone. We have, I'm counting in my head. We have about 7 standing orders, and then we have our one gentleman who's still hanging on over in Long Beach. So we have about 8 standing orders, and then the rest would be doctor's appointments, first time that we would meet the person.
Okay, good. So there's room for us to take on more.
Oh, yes, of course. We always want to take on more.
Absolutely. That's what I like to hear. Well, and I know people are definitely in need. I also work from home and I'm in Florida, and I thought, oh, this would be amazing over here because we have so many senior citizens who come here to retire and they don't always have family here because their kids are, living and working somewhere else. So just knowing that this is available, hopefully, who knows, maybe it can expand our way. So you said you work with a partner typically?
Yes, typically for gurney transportations, you have a partner. Can't do that by yourself. So usually we meet up and then we'll go out for our day together, and that just depends on the needs of the company for the day. We switch up. I like to be with different people sometimes, and then the same person. You get used to someone, and then you get a rhythm with them. There's one guy that I work with a lot, and we move at the same time. We live together at the exact same time. Everything is just fluid between the two of us, and I like to have that with a partner because it helps to trust your partner, especially when you're dealing with a fragile person who might have a break or a fracture or a fresh surgery that's the site that's healing. You really want to make sure that you move together constantly, safely. And I think it takes some time to build that up. So I kind of like to have like the same guys over and over again as partners.
That's nice. So it sounds like you have some room for variety a little bit, which would be a nice aspect as well. And for your area with Inland Empire, are you also hiring to look for more team members currently?
Yes, we are currently hiring in the Inland Empire area. We're in need of drivers and attendants. So if anybody's interested, anybody who's interested, give us a call.
Perfect. Yes. And I've got our website up here on the screen as well. So you can always check us out. If you have any questions after the interview, you can feel free to drop them in the comments and we'll come back and reply to you. So what do you like best about your position here with Veterans Rideshare, and what is it about the mission that you really love?
Okay, so I can make you cry. I hope that. So what I really love about working for BRS is, we have so many different areas that people are working here for BRS. But when it comes to the NEMT portion, I think that if our truck drivers are arms and legs and we have our call centers and everything else, I would say that the NEMT portion is definitely the heart. We are in so many different situations with so many people and sensitive and emotional situations. And we really get support from management when making certain little gestures and kind things that we do for people. There's one point where I told Chris, hey, I have a lady, she didn't get anything for her birthday. She really just wants this. Would that be financially something I could do? And Scott and them, and they were like, shh, do it. Go ahead, get a receipt if you want. Bring it to me, but get it done. And anytime I feel like there's something extra that we want to do, they support us 100%. There's been plenty of times where we have a passenger who doesn't have family. They're in a home and they're by themselves and they don't really have anyone to have holidays with or any of that. And especially here on my side, we will go in and we will take them a little something for Christmas. We will get them a little something if we know it's their birthday. Or Mother's Day, we took one of our ladies some flowers today. Those are the things that are encouraged. And it's one of the things that really connects me with this job because I'm really into making a difference if possible. And there's opportunities every day here to be your best self if you seize them. And it's always encouraged that we do that. I'm going to throw somebody under the bus because she teased me about this interview earlier. But during Christmas time, me and who is now one of our managers dressed up with elf ears and put big Santa hats on our heads and bells on our costume, on our uniforms, and went into the home and got the lady and put Christmas necklaces all over her and took her out and got her a hat and put it on her head. We put her in the dialysis center like that, and we were singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and all this stuff. But I get to do that every day. I get to take care of someone who might not have somebody to look out for them, and I get to be that person in that moment. And I mean, if you want an opportunity to be your best self, come and jump in the van with me, and we'll go out there and grab it.
I love it. You sound like such a giver, and this sounds like the absolute perfect job for you. You're able to help others feel good, feel loved, know that they're not alone. And I think that's so much more important. You're not just driving them around, you're giving them companionship. You're letting them know that they're just not alone. That's incredible. And I love the elf costume. That's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, we have our sensitive moments. We're in a lot of sensitive appointments with people. They find out, maybe their treatment's not working, or somebody's going to be passing away. And we also have this wonderful opportunity to help someone come out of their sadness. Just being a human being in the moment sometimes is all it takes to make a difference in somebody's situation. We had a lady who got some news, that was pretty heavy and serious, and she was understandably upset. And made a comment to me during the winter that all she wished she could see before going on hospice was how the snow was sitting on the mountains. And we could see the snow from where we were, but she really couldn't. And I said, tell me no more. And we drove up this hill by her home, and we turned the van around. We opened the back doors. We leaned up the gurney so she could sit up, and all you could see was the view of the mountains and the snow. And we just sat there quietly for about 5-10 minutes. And she said, okay, I'm ready to go home. We took her home, and that was it. And I don't know what happened with the rest of her story, because it was a one-time appointment, but I know that in that moment, me and my partner made a difference.
Yes, you did. Oh my goodness, you did make me cry. You weren't kidding. That is beautiful. Thank you for that. Wow. Oh. No, I don't know what to ask.
I warned you. I have a lot more, but we'll run out of time, girl.
Holy smokes. Well, that is truly touching, and I think that right there says so much. And when you said that sometimes people get the bad news, I can't imagine that long drive home. You're driving them, and
Mm-hmm.
the pain they must be feeling. And if you're there as this calming and reassuring force, I think that's crucial. Whew, April. That was beautiful. Oh gosh. Well, so as you can hear at VRS, we are looking for people to join the team. If you're compassionate, this sounds right up your alley. If you or someone you know could use non-emergency medical transport for one-time appointments, for standing appointments, we're able to take excellent care of you. It really is care. It's not just getting you from point A to B. There's so much more in between, as April has just illustrated in a very touching fashion. Whew. I didn't expect that tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Well, is there anything else that we didn't cover that you would like to add?
Mm, not really.
That was a very good interview, April. I truly appreciate it. I'm sure our audience has enjoyed watching as well. So thanks to all of you for tuning in. Hopefully I'll be able to meet you at some point, because I'm truly touched by your stories today, and I think you seem to be in the exact right field. So it's wonderful that you're here giving care in a new way.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, I'll put our website up one more time with veteransrideshare.com if you're looking for non-emergency medical transport. If you're looking for job opportunities with an incredible team, you are going to find the best folks here. And as April said, just from the top down, you see the level of support and enthusiasm for the mission. And it truly is a great deal of care. So with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. April, thank you for your time. This is our Inland Empire supervisor with some amazing stories, and maybe we'll have to do a follow-up one day and hear some more of those. And I'll have Kleenex ready.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.